did it. I think the bottom of this hole is 1,200. You got it about 2/3 full, so thank you very much. I want to thank Henry Doan and his staff here for letting us use this. We did not know that we still had so much support, and if only the Wisconsin primary had been first. We also want to thank the 21 people who were watching the movie who got a rain check. Nice to you at the theater, I appreciate it very much. Let me share with you a little bit about what we're doing, and then we'll have a little fun at the president's expense. If we're going to win, we have to have not just an agenda that reminds people of what's the matter with the Republicans. We have to have a positive agenda for ourselves. And we have to be organized. Jim Doyle actually taught me this. He and I were talking after the election, and he said, and Wisconsin was really close. You did great. You doubled the margin from the previous time, but that's not a very big margin. But Jim and I were talking on the phone, and he said, you know, we laughed with him. We saw the Republicans organizing by getting people to put phone banks in their kitchens, while we were bringing in thousands of people from Illinois and New York. Truth is, they organize well. There's not much I admire about what the Republicans have done to this country, but I do admire how they organize. We are going to put, in the next few weeks, organizers here in Wisconsin, hired from people here in Wisconsin to be local people. We're going to put them on the DNC payroll, and we're going to do that in 50 states. Wisconsin's a swing state. You're used to that. We cannot run an 18-state campaign if we want to be a national party. 2 weeks after I was elected, I went to Mississippi. Now, usually, from my part of the country, you know, that Northeast, how liberal we all are, right? I was laughing when Jim was talking about the concealed weapons stuff. In my state, we don't have any gun control of any kind, right? You can conceal, everybody can pack wherever they want. So, there's always one even in Madison. But only one. So you know, when people from my part of the country go to Mississippi, the office holders usually run the other way. We had 900 people show up in a ballroom that only fit 800. We had all 4 former Democratic governors show up. These people want to win in Mississippi. They want to win. It's the only thing you can't teach people is a desire to win. Now they have a part-time executive director and a part-time secretary. That is the Democratic Party of Mississippi. They have a former lobbyist, K Street lobbyist, named Haley Barbour, who used to be the head of the Republican National Committee, who's the governor. He's at 41%. People in Mississippi are not dumb. They don't think Republicans are so great either. But we have lost the state Senate in Mississippi the first time since Reconstruction. We need to be in Mississippi because if we're going to be a national party, somebody has to be in every precinct in Mississippi holding up the Democratic version of a reality. We need to be in Mississippi so there's another side of the debate. But there is another reason to be in Mississippi. We have a plurality of 8 brave Democratic legislators in the Mississippi House that keep the Mississippi House Democratic. Those 8 members are all that stand between Haley Barbour and the right-wing Mississippi State Senate from cutting 50,000 children and seniors off their health insurance. We have a moral obligation to be in Mississippi because those 50,000 children are our children and those seniors are our parents everywhere in America. In Mississippi in 2008 in the presidential race, but we can win in 2007 in the governor's race, and we can get the Senate and the House back, but we've got to invest in Mississippi and Kansas, not just in Wisconsin and Michigan and Ohio. So we're going to be everywhere, and we're going to be everywhere now. We're not going to wait for 8 months before the election. We're going to build right now. want these paid troops to be battle tested, so they're going to be helping your state representatives and state senators to increase their numbers in the state legislature. They're going to help Jim, they're going to help Barbara, they're going to help all the statewide electeds, because we need to establish a battle-tested group so when 2008 comes along, these folks know what they're doing. So when we do send volunteers in from out of state, instead of having them run the show, you can run the show. That's not enough. That's not enough. We are going to define who we are. The Democrats will tell the American people what we stand for. The Republicans won't do that anymore. I jokingly say that sometimes I think our platform may look like the 1970s Republican platform. What are we going to stand for? We're going to stand for fiscal responsibility. Not one president of the Republican Party has balanced the budget in over 35 years. You cannot trust Republicans with the taxpayers' money. Borrow and spend, borrow and waste. Borrow and spend, borrow and waste. Borrow and spend, borrow and waste. We will do better than that. We do balance budgets. We are the party of fiscal responsibility. We're going to stand for individual freedom and personal liberty. It doesn't sound like a Republican issue, right? The Republican Party talks about small government, just small enough to fit inside the bedroom in the nursing home of Terry Shiloh. We will do better than that. We believe that Tom DeLay ought not to make health care decisions, and God help us if anybody goes to Bill Fress and has himself diagnosed by videotape. American families were allowed to make their own medical decisions. Speaking of medical decisions, I am tired of being told that we are the pro-abortion party. I served for 5 years on the board of Planned Parenthood of Northern New England. I don't know anybody in America who is pro-abortion. I do not know anybody in America who is pro-abortion. Republicans say who we are. I'll tell you who we are. We're the party that believes abortion ought to be safe, legal, and rare. And under Bill Clinton, there were less abortions than there have been under George Bush. And I'll tell you who else we are. The difference between the party on abortion is not that we're for it and they're against it. Nobody's for abortion. The difference is that the Democratic Party believes in individual freedom, which means that a woman has the right to take up her own mind on her health care. We don't think that Tom DeLay in the race should do it for her. So the Democratic Party, unlike the Republican Party, will make abortion safe, legal, and rare, with adequate sex education, which is not just abstinence only, with adequate contraception at the University of Wisconsin, unlike what the Republican legislature will do, and killing Jim Doyle at the courage to veto that bill that will truly honor the personal freedoms of the students at the University of Wisconsin. Jim Doyle, thank you very much for your courage. So here's what our positive agenda is. It's going to be an agenda of reform and an agenda of change. We're going to reform the fiscal situation in this country by not borrowing beyond our means. You know, they do big talk about moral values. I think it's a moral value not to leave your children more debt than you have when you got it. That is a moral value to balance the budget. It is a moral value to reform the healthcare system so that every man, woman, and child in America has health insurance, just as they do in Japan and Ireland and Italy and Great Britain, Germany, England, Israel.